may have just a matter of days to marvel at an important piece of naval history.
The exhibit at the Mariners Museum in Newport News with artifacts from a famous sunken battleship could be closing. We've been looking into this and new at 6. 10 to your side's Ava Hurdle joins us now with why it's in jeopardy. Ava?
Nicole, work on the USS Monitor's gun turret and other artifacts recovered from the sunken ship will end if federal dollars don't become available.
This is video of the USS Monitor's gun turret after it was pulled from the ocean floor. It now sits in a conservation lab at the Mariners Museum in Newport News, along with other artifacts for preservation work.
Going forward, everything's sort of in suspended animation or kind of on a standstill.
Conservator Will Hoffman has spent the past 5 years working on bringing the history of the USS Monitor, the first ironclad, to life.
We have the main engine. It's got to come into smaller pieces. We have the turret, which needs to be cleaned and turned over. And so all those projects have multiple steps. And it's really by object. So it could be, years to a decade to do that.
Sad for him and for visitor Tommy Saunders of Suffolk, who heard about the temporary closing.
When I slip over here and see it one more time, I'm very disappointed that they can't get the money right and keep it open. I'm local, but think about the people who may come from a long ways on a trip or something and miss it. It's not fair to the public.
This past year, we're told it cost $450,000 to operate the lab, with NOAA contributing $50,000, and the museum picked up the rest of the tab in a tight economy.
With NOAA, we thought this was an important allocation of the museum's resources this past year, but we know that we can't continue that on. That's more than 10% of our budget just going to conserve these federal resources.
The hope now is to get additional funding from the federal agency to continue the conservation work, but plans are in place to reassign the staff to other jobs at the museum.
Now, we tried to reach that agency for comment, but our phone calls were not returned by airtime. Live in the newsroom, Ava Hurdle, 10 on your side.